Hello, my name is Paola Brown and I'm your English 101 teacher. Every online teacher does things differently when they work on their courses on Canvas, so I made this video to help you get started on my course on Canvas. Hopefully it will help you get started without beating your head on the desk. First, let's discuss the Maricopa.edu email. Everybody has one, so even if you don't know you have one, you actually do because they automatically assign you one. You log on using your MEID. If you don't have an MEID, you can come over here and they will help you find it. Once you are logged on to the Maricopa.edu email, you will see that I have sent you an important startup email. Be sure to open it and print it and complete all the tasks listed there. Let's take a moment and look at item number 3. I need that you remember to download Chrome, Firefox, or Safari as your internet browser. The reason for this is that they're very compatible with Canvas. Other internet browsers aren't compatible and you will run into all kinds of errors. I personally am using Safari. Downloading these web browsers are free, so do it if you don't already have one of them. Now let's log on to our course at maricopa.instructure.com. Log in using your MEID, the same username and password for your maricopa.edu email. The first thing you need to do once you get to Canvas is go to the top left-hand side of the screen and select our English 101 course. Now, this is not exactly what you will see because this is the instructor's view. I'm going to take a moment to change it to student view. Okay, so after you've clicked on our course, this is the home page that you will see for our course. Now we need to talk about the course calendar. Click on the Pages button and you will see a blue link for a calendar. Click on it. The calendar is the most important part of the course. I like to call it the heart or the roadmap of the course. I want you to press pause and log into Canvas, then click on the Pages button. Download the calendar and print it. After you've printed the calendar, I want you to go ahead and tape the calendar to your forehead. Just kidding. But I can't emphasize enough how important the calendar is to your success in this course. Now, if you go to the announcements section of our Canvas, you will see that the week 1 of our calendar will coincide with the weekly announcements I will send each week. So let's go ahead and look at week 1. The first half of the week lists some important housekeeping items I need you to do to get started. Once those are done, you can actually start the coursework. Let's explore the Canvas area like the calendar asks us to do. First, let's go to the discussion board. If you scroll down to the lower half of the discussion board, you will see that this is the group area. After the first week of class, when drop add has settled, I will be placing each of you inside a group. Once your name is in a group, work only with your group members during the group portion of assignments. Also, email me if your group is not participating and you're unable to complete group work. Now let's scroll up. You will see a discussion board that I have titled as Questions. Feel free to click in it and ask any question you may have about the course. Also, students, I welcome you to answer each other's questions, especially because oftentimes you may get to a question before I do. Time is of the essence in online courses. So if you have an answer, go ahead and give it to your classmate. You do earn points for participating in discussion board. You get 5 points for each of your posts. So in the welcome area, you will need to make 3 posts, 5 points each, totaling to 15 points. Now, our discussion boards will be structured with prompts. So when you begin working in the discussion board, be sure to read the original posts I have written. They have guidelines so we can have a conversation relating to the assignment. So in the case of this first discussion area relating to our first assignment, I have created 2 original posts. Here in the second post, I actually introduce myself. Now let's say you want to say hi and respond to something I wrote. To respond, simply type a message in the text box directly below my message, and then click the Post the Response button. Once you have submitted your first comment, you have actually earned your first 5 points for this discussion area. Remember, this particular discussion area is worth 15 points, so you have 2 more posts to make to earn all 15 points. The next thing we need to talk about is email. I know that I initially contacted you on the maricopa.edu email, but now that the course has started, we need to communicate only through the Canvas email. It is also known as the Conversations email. You can click onto your email by clicking Inbox in the top right-hand corner of your screen. The Canvas email is actually an internal email. This means that you can only email people within Canvas, but you cannot send or receive emails from outside sources like Hotmail. So just like in Vegas, what happens in Canvas email stays in Canvas email. Let me give you a quick example of sending a message. Let's say you had a question you wanted to ask a group member or to me. To send the message, you simply begin typing the person's name in the to box, and Canvas will automatically recognize who it is you're trying to send and autofill. Then type your message. If you have to attach a file, go ahead and do that using the Attach button. And then click the Send button. That will send the recipient an internal Canvas email. Now look down at the calendar you have printed. We've briefly touched on week 1, so later I want you to go ahead and finish going over the tasks listed in week 1. But now let's take a quick peek at week 2. This is where the coursework really starts. Read along with me on the calendar as I click around here on Canvas. On the calendar, it says to click on the Modules button and read screens 1 through 3. Let's do that together then. I'm flipping over to Canvas and I'm going to click on Modules. You will be able to do 3 main things in learning modules. You'll be able to read assignment content, you'll be able to submit homework, and you will be able to take quizzes. So when the calendar said read screens 1 through 3, it is basically asking you that you do some reading regarding the assignment. Once you're in the learning module, if you see this weird A symbol, go ahead and ignore it. It is actually some glitch in the system that I'm currently trying to delete. But as it is right now, it shouldn't affect the reading or the comprehension of the information written in the modules. So to progress between the screens, you can click this little arrow button and it will take you to screen 2 and screen 3, just like the calendar asked you to read. After reading and doing all the steps in screens 1 through 3, the calendar says, in bright red, that you need to submit homework in screen 7. Let's learn about submitting homework then. Let's go to screen 7, the assignment submission screen. To submit the assignment, begin by clicking the Submit Assignment button on the right-hand side. Then you need to attach your homework as an RTF file. You may or may not know what this is, but I have provided a link explaining to you how you can save any document as an RTF file. So no matter what word processing document you're using, like Microsoft Word or WordPerfect, you can save every assignment as an RTF file. Okay, so to send the homework, click on the Choose File button, find your homework that has been saved as an RTF file, click it, and select Choose. But I'm going to hit Cancel since I don't really have to turn anything in. And it is optional for you to leave me a comment when you submit the assignment. Once you're done, hit Submit Assignment. Now, I have something to say about the comments box section. Some of my students like to copy and paste their homework into the comments box section of the submission screen. If you do that, I want you to smack your hand and never do it again. Okay. Once you have submitted an assignment, it is gone and you no longer have access to it until after I grade it. So be careful when submitting, making sure you have submitted the correct file. Because I was working on this quiz earlier today, my button says Resume Quiz, but your button will probably say Take Quiz. Because I was working on this quiz earlier today, my button says Resume Quiz, but your button will probably say Take Quiz. My quizzes are not timed, but you will see a ticker on the right-hand side letting you know how long you've been working on the quiz. But don't let that stress you out because you can have as much time as you need to complete the quiz. Also, feel free to print copies of information from the learning modules or use handwritten notes during the quiz. The only condition that I have on quizzes is that you start and finish it in one sitting. Once you submit the quiz, you will not be able to go back and edit your responses. If something goes wrong, like your power goes out while you're in the middle of taking a quiz, just email me and I will verify that your session ended abruptly and I will assist you in correcting the problem. Okay, let's say I'm done with my quiz. Normally, at the end of this screen, I would click Submit Quiz, but because I don't need to take this quiz, I'm just going to exit out of it. Okay, in closing, let me review the 3 things you can do in the learning modules. 1, you can read assignment information. 2, you can submit homework in the submission screens. And 3, you can take quizzes. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about when you need to do everything. If you've printed the calendar and follow the week-by-week steps listed, you will be just fine. Remember, the calendar will list in red important items that need to be submitted as homework so that you have homework turned in on time, as I don't accept late work. It will also have quizzes listed in red. Just stay close to the calendar, over here, and you will have no problem staying on track in my course. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it clarified any questions you might have on beginning my course. Please do email me if you have any questions regarding this video or anything in my course. I really do want you to be successful in my class, and I do care about you and your learning. Thank you very much, and we'll see you online.